Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Well, the scouting combine is in the books. I'm jumping on the channel here to do a 3-round rookie mock draft with my podcast co-host Jason DiRienzo. This is the 6th rookie mock we've done on this channel as we march to the NFL draft, trying to get to 17,000 subscribers by the draft. Hit that subscribe button. Got all sorts of fantastic rookie content on the channel here to help you make decisions in your upcoming rookie drafts. All right, let's get to the draft. All right, Jason, let's get to our 2025 rookie mock tonight. It's going to be a Superflex PPR tight end premium, 3 rounds. As always, the gracious host, I'm going to give you the first selection. If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, you're going to see the draft board on there. I did not come up with these selections. I found a 7-round mock a few days ago. It was actually 2 or 3 days right before the scouting combine. So they're not my picks, but as the gracious host, I'm going to let you start us off. Who you got with the first pick in the draft?
You are very gracious, and thank you for giving me with the 101 Ashton Genty to the Cowboys. Not only is Ashton Genty a big fantasy producer in my eyes, as much as I, am interested in Cameron Ward and maybe Shadur Sanders. What Ashton Genty can do in the backfield with the Cowboys, they are in need of a running back. They've always been high producers when they have a solid running back and rely heavily on him. Love taking Ashton Genty with the 101, even in a super flex format.
Yeah, I like that. He's I know everyone just can't wait to see where this guy where he gets
I know.
selected, so it's gonna be a lot of fun to do this exercise when we have like actual landing spots.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with the second pick. I'm gonna take Cameron Ward in this guy's mock. He had the New York Giants trading up to take the Titans' first spot in the draft. They're gonna take Cameron Ward. He's my QB1. There's a huge teardrop here very, very shortly in quarterbacks this year, and it is a tight end premium league. And I mean, if you're flush with quarterbacks in a particular draft, you might want to try and trade down this pick for someone who is needy of a QB here and get some extra picks. But I'm going to take Cam Ward here in the second pick.
Yeah, great pick. Can't argue that at all. With the 103, I'm not going to get too cute here, and I'm going to assume that Travis Hunter is going to be at wide receiver. I'm taking Travis Hunter here, going to the Tennessee Titans. Sure, they might have an issue with who's going to be the quarterback, but I've seen enough with Travis Hunter. This kid is highly competitive. He will win in any circumstance he is put in, and I don't think that he is limited to, a specific quarterback. I think he can overcome any adversity he has with whoever is throwing him the ball. He's a fluid navigator as a route runner, and I just love the competitive skills with the ball in his hand. So give me Travis Hunter here with a 103.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what he does in the
NFL.
NFL.
I think we're all dying to find out what
Yes.
position he's also going to be at.
Yeah, but for this exercise, we're going to assume it is a wide receiver. So with the 4th pick in the first round, I'm going to take Omarion Hampton. This is a running back. If you need running backs, guys, 2025 draft is where you want to take them. 2026 is not looking great. So I'm going to be hoarding the running backs as you're going to see here in the first round. So I know there's depth at the position, but I'm not sure it's as deep as everyone's expecting it to be. Plus, these guys that are getting drafted early in rounds 1 and 2, they're going to get the opportunity where a lot of these guys taken in day 3 are going to be backups. So Omarion Hampton got first-round draft capital going to second-round draft capital, going to the Cleveland Browns. Do I love the landing spot? No, but Cleveland has always loved to run the ball. Maybe they bring back Nick Chubb and teach him the ropes a little bit. But Omarion Hampton had a great scouting combine, really solidified himself as a top 3 back in this class. So I'm going to take him here with the 4th pick.
Yeah, he could fill right in nicely for what Nick Chubb is going to leave behind if he moves on. So with the 105, I'm going to take advantage of the super flex format here and go with Shadur Sanders going to the Raiders. They need a quarterback. I think they are going to do everything possible to surround whoever the quarterback is in this draft. I'm taking Sanders with some weapons. Brock Bowers is probably going to be that primary guy, and I love that all day long. Shadur Sanders in super flex, I feel really good about taking him with 105.
Yeah, this guy in the draft really loaded up with these Raiders offensive skill positions.
I saw that.
They're completely reloading here. You're going to hear about it all very here shortly.
Yeah.
In the 6th pick in the first round, I'm going to take Ted McMillan, go into the Chargers. Love the landing spot. The shine is coming off McMillan, but this is typically what happens at this stage of the game. He's been the number 1 guy for so long, and now all of a sudden people are talking about other receivers, which is possible, but out of the top 2 or 3 receivers in the landing spot, playing with Herbert, Harbaugh, You got McConkey there, who is going to allow, I think, T Mac, if he actually ends up on the Chargers, would be a great spot where he can be able to be eased into the offense. They take a nice running back here too in this draft, as well as a solid tight end. So they are revamping their offense as well. So I got T Mac here going to the Chargers with the 6th pick.
Yeah, I thought about T Mac with a couple of my picks, even where Hunter was. So that's a nice little steal there. I'm gonna go with the 107 pick and take Matthew Golden to the Raiders. Just like you said, it looks like they're gonna revamp and surround their quarterback with some weapons. And Matthew Golden's a great option. Just destroyed the 40, had a great combine, and over his college career, just highly productive. No matter which program he was at, when he came over to Texas, again, we talked about a lot that depth chart. We didn't think he'd be able to crack into that depth chart with the production, with the amount of guys that he had to face to compete with, and he just rose all the way to the top. That goes a long way with me. And now to find out that all those boxes are checked based on what we saw in the film, I love that. And that makes me feel really comfortable taking him here with the 107 pick.
Yeah, I was between Golden and McMillan, and I look McMillan and Golden too. I mean, we just did his film review and loved what we saw. The guy just solidified his draft capital up there with that
Yeah.
40, with the blazing 40 at the combine. With the 8th pick in the first round, I'm going to go with Trevion Henderson, also going to the Raiders. The Raiders are just stocking up on the offensive side of the
I
ball,
need the
but
help. So this is the
Henderson's
draft to do
my
it.
Henderson's my RB2. He brings the whole skill set to the table. We just need him to
Yeah.
stay healthy. But if he can stay healthy, good guy, good player to get the ball out of the backfield as well. And again, he's going to an offense as it is on the rise with all these young guys. There could be some learning curve here in with all these young players, but love his ability. So I'm going to take him here with the 8th pick in the first round.
I like it. With the 109 pick, there are a couple guys I was thinking about here, but I'm looking at the quarterback and Jane Daniels, getting him a weapon. I'm going with Emeka Ibuka. He got first round draft capital, and man, teaming him up with Jane Daniels, who looks like he is just soaring to be that next, potential high caliber quarterback in the NFL. I like that a lot. Emeka Ibuka is a good blocker. He's physical, dominant in the slot, eats through zone coverage, navigates through the seam with ease. He's going to be very quarterback friendly. Jane Daniels, to me, is going to be looking at him quite a bit if they do end up taking him. Love this pick at 109. I think he's going to be highly productive in fantasy.
Yeah, pretty much after this draft, right? I mean, they got Deebo
Yeah.
Samuel, but I still think they're going to go for a young wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Ibuka to get a receiver early in the draft. With the 10th pick in the first round, I'm going with Quinshawn Judkins going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Do they finally find their long-term bell cow running back? I think they do. Quinshawn had a great combine.
Yes, he did.
You got to love the Kansas City, landing spot. Although the last few tries with these guys, I mean, it hasn't really played out the way we thought. But Quinshawn Judkins is a different breed than anybody they've drafted over the last few years. So Judkins at Kansas City here with the 10th pick in the first round, easy choice.
Yeah, definitely easy choice. With the 111, I'm going to go with Luther Burden going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Burden got first round draft capital, and I'm a little concerned about the quarterback. And I've seen Luther Burden play with bad quarterback play, and it didn't necessarily turn out that great. But you know what? This is a guy who is a yak creator. You get the ball in his hands. We saw the 40 time was pretty decent for his size, and I think he can do some damage, especially with George Pickens stretching the field and still being a focal point of that offense. That could open things up for Burden, eating into the zone and just being that yak monster. So I'm taking Burden here with the 111 pick.
I like it. I'm going to round out the first round with a tight end. I was going back between Loveland and Warren, and I decided on Loveland here. The landing spot kind of swayed me just a little bit. Going to the Broncos. Bo Nix looks like he is the solidified starter. Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren are 1A, 1B for me, and I'm just going to go with the more athletic and the more spry route runner here. But like the landing spot, to round out the first round here, him going to the Denver Broncos.
I like it. With pick 201, I'm going to go with Caleb Johnson to the Chargers. Johnson got, what did Johnson get? He got second round draft capital, so falls in line with what we look for with the running back position. J.K. Dobbins had a great year, but he is now on that downward turn of the running back curve, and turning, I think it's 26, gonna maybe even 27. Caleb Johnson looked phenomenal at Iowa. I think that he is going to be one of those guys where if you get him in the second round, you'd be really happy, and he could be very productive. We know how the Chargers love to run the ball.
Yeah.
This could be a great spot for Caleb Johnson here.
No, that's one of the premier landing spots right now.
Yeah.
I mean, in Dynasty, we want our favorite running back to go to the Chargers. All right. Second pick in the second round, I'm going with Jalen Knoll. Got a great landing spot here of the Dallas Cowboys. What a great spot.
Beautiful.
They made a nice wide receiver too, had a great scouting combine, passed with flying colors, all the athletic testing. We saw the spryness in his route running at the event, and did a film review on this channel. Go check it out. I've been a big fan of both of these Iowa State wide receivers, but Jalen Knoll could be that great possession receiver, who could just be Dak Prescott's favorite receiver after CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, that landing spot is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
With the 203, I'm going to take advantage of the tight end premium scoring format that we have going on here and take Tyler Warren going to the Indianapolis Colts. I like the fact that the Colts are looking to bring in a veteran quarterback. That makes me a little bit better about actually selecting Tyler Warren here. He could be that, that security valve for a veteran quarterback who's looking to gain chemistry. We saw what Brock Bowers could do in year one. Obviously, Warren is not Brock Bowers, but I think the role and the help that he could provide to a quarterback in this offense could be dynamic, and he's very versatile, and he could also be a runner with the ball. So give me Tyler Warren in this tight end premium format.
Are they benching Richardson again already?
I don't know, man, but it looks like they're going to try to get some competition back there, and I'm for it. I get it.
Yeah, I'd say okay. Well, I'm going to follow up with another tight end here at the fourth pick in the second round. I'm going to go with Elijah Arroyo, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think Arroyo, if he can stay healthy, right? He had a knee injury.
Yeah.
All right, I know he had his shoulder injury, and I know it just has felt like it is dinged up. I think this guy could be the best tight end in this class when it's all said and done. If in fact his speed down the field, I mean, he's got the size, his acceleration and speed just, I thought, was at a different level than any of these tight ends in this class. So get Kansas City Chiefs. You got to be kidding me. I'm going to take him here, middle beginning of the second round.
Right. No, that's nice positional advantage here, getting him there. Yeah, I can't disagree either. He looked really good live at the Senior Bowl. With 205, I'm going to go with Jaden Higgins going to the Patriots. Talk about a guy who could get instant opportunity playing with Drake May. I like the fact that you got Drake May, who's young. Higgins comes in. He's that bigger receiver, good catch radius. So even if there is some learning curve that May is still trying to develop into with accuracy or wherever it may be in this Patriots offense, Higgins is the perfect receiver to help him out with that. Actually, they would complement each other. I love this for Higgins, and I love this for May too.
Yeah, they definitely need a wide receiver up there to help that franchise move forward. I love that selection. I've been a Higgins guy for some time.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
So at the sixth pick in the second round, I'm going to go back to the tight end because I think there was a big teardrop after the last one here. Mason Taylor, I've been a huge fan of this kid. LSU here, going to the Chargers again. So the Chargers are just loading up on offense. Don't really think they're going to pick three skill players like this, but in any case, it's the draft, and it's pretending that that's what it is.
We're having fun here.
Yeah, Mason Taylor, I tell you what, I think he shined at the combine. Been overshadowed by those great LSU wide receivers for the last couple of years, but this kid can play. He's got the bloodlines in the family. Love the spot with the Chargers, so I'm going to take him here with the sixth pick.
Yeah, I mean, he could be Harbaugh's Colston Loveland in that offense, and that would be highly productive. With the 207, I'm going to go back to that Superflex point scoring system and take advantage of it and go with Jackson Dart to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dart did get second round draft capital, so it's a bit of a risk, but at the same time, where I'm getting him in the second round, I kind of feel good about it because if he does pop off and be productive, I'm going to be really happy I took him here, and he's got that dual threat ability that I think we don't talk about enough, and he had a really nice combine, and he's getting a lot of talk. This could go really well, and I want to make sure that I take advantage of it. So I got Jackson Dart with the 207.
Steelers going down that road again. Oof.
They
Okay.
kind of have to at this point.
I know, right? So I'm going to follow up with my QB3 of the class, Jalen Milrow. All right, going to the Saints. I don't love the landing spot. I mean, Spencer Rattler's there, but they have a new coach. Our OC from Philly is now the coach down there. Maybe he wants his own guy, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna bet on the traits that there is at least one team out there. You got round 3 draft capital in this draft. I still think there's a team that are going to be so intrigued by his athleticism and his intangibles, his leadership ability. We know that he's not the best passer, but maybe he sits for a couple years and takes the Jordan Love approach. And maybe a lot of comps to Jalen Hurts, late second round. Jalen
yeah.
came out of Oklahoma, not really being able to be that great passer. Maybe he kind of develops over time. So again, at the middle, late part of the second round, we're getting into my guy territory where the teardrops are starting to fall off pretty hard here. So I'm going to take Jalen Milrow going to the Saints here.
Yeah, even with that speed in fantasy, you got to take advantage of that. With the 209, I'm going to go with GJ Giddens going to the Chicago Bears. Giddens got second round draft capital. So, again, falls in line with what we look for as far as where that could be in terms of fantasy. We know what Ben Johnson likes to do with the running back position. Who knows what's going on with DeAndre Swift? I don't think Roshan Johnson is going to be that primary RB1 David Johnson type from what I've seen from him so far. But Giddens had a really nice combine. He's got the speed, and I like some of the movement ability and the pass catching ability. And I think Ben Johnson will too, and I like that for fantasy.
Yeah, guy, I was really surprised in this mock. He got round 2 draft capital, so this guy must
Yeah.
have been really high on him. So with the 10th pick in the second round, I'm going with Damian Martinez, one of my faves in this class.
Love Damian.
Had a good combine. Going to the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
So kind of Najee Harris 2.0. Hopefully he has a better career. Harris has had a good career, but somebody who might get a second contract with the same team is always what you're looking for. But Damian Harris, one of the bigger backs in this class, got round 4 draft capital, which isn't great. But Steelers, they always commit to the run. So they got Jackson Dart as well. They're going to want to lean on a running back as well. So I'm going to take Damian Martinez.
Yeah, he feels like a Steelers type of running back too.
He does.
With the 211, I'm really happy about this pick. I'm going to go with Trey Harris to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs just came out and said they're not going to tag Chris Godwin. It looks like Jalen McMillan might fill right into that role. They did sign Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is on the older side. I love that Trey Harris could learn behind Mike Evans and maybe just slip right into that Mike Evans spot when he moves on. Give me that all day long with Trey Harris, who is highly productive at Ole Miss. He's got the body, he's got the size, the catch radius, everything that Mike Evans kind of provided. Just nowhere near the talent of Mike Evans, but the positional type that they're looking for with the Bucs, that might be a nice fit.
Yeah, that is a nice fit. It is I think a solid pick right here at the end of the second round. I'm going to finish out this second round. I'm going to take Dylan Sampson going to the Texans. Texans are an ascending franchise. Joe Mixon's there, but he will not be there forever. But Dylan Sampson could be kind of the A-chan for the Miami Dolphins, right? Just a smaller guy. You let Mixon work the interior part of the line, and then you dabble in some Dylan Sampson. All these teams are going to 2 running backs anymore, but he's an explosive, fast player, been relatively healthy his years in Tennessee. He's got to hold on to the ball a little better, though he had some fumbling issues in the last couple of years, but love his explosiveness, his pass catching out of the backfield. So I'm going to take a shot with Sampson here to finish the second round.
I like it. With the 301, I'm going to go with Devin Neal going to New England Patriots. Neal what do you get? He got 3rd round draft capital. So again, right in line with what we look for. And they've been trying to find that identity with Ramondre Stevenson. Neal could be a nice complement, bigger back, explosive, outstanding pass catcher. And I'm wondering if he could just be that James White type of role, just a bigger back within that role. And that could be really nice for Drake May and produce some nice fantasy points for Devin Neal. So I'm taking Devin Neal here.
I like it. I'm going to go with the second pick in the 3rd round. Bashal Tutin had a great combine. The speed is there. Just put a film out on the YouTube channel, his game versus Miami, and kind of broke it down for you to go take a look at. Going to the Denver Broncos. Love that. Sean Payton loves to run the ball. So if this is a guy he drafted, he got round 4 draft capital, which isn't great, but as deep as this class is, we're going to expect some better players, I think, to fall down into the 4th round. But Tutin had a great combine. I think he is going to be on the map. I would anticipate him maybe rising up draft boards with that explosiveness that he brings to the table. So love the landing spot with the Denver Broncos as well.
Yeah, that's a great spot. At the 303, I'm going to go with Isaiah Bond going to the Buffalo Bills. Bond got round two draft capital, and I think this might be a great fit. You got Keon Coleman, who's that bigger back and physical nature, with Bond, who didn't run the 4.1 that he said, but still ran a 4.41, I believe, and that is respectable enough to take the top off of defense and really stretch the field and give Josh Allen throwing the ball downfield to Bond. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, that landing spot's going to make him rise up boards, I think, a
Yes, it
little
is.
bit.
Yeah.
So everybody
Opportunity to
wants
be there
a
too.
yeah, everybody wants the Buffalo Bill wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
So with the fourth pick in the third round, I'm going to go Jalen Royals. Not a flashy player, not a player a lot of people talk about, but got a
Mhm.
great landing spot here
Yeah.
going to the Houston Texans, and he got round two draft capital as well. So really, really like the landing spot. As I said previously with Sampson, it's an ascending offense, and Nico Collins is there. Tank Dell just can't seem to be, staying on the field, but this guy would be a great physical, just interior possession receiver for CJ Stroud. So I'm going to take him here.
Nice. Yeah, with the 305, I'm going to go with Xavier Restrepo going to the Atlanta Falcons. Restrepo got second round draft capital, and this was a bit of a tough one. I was trying to tell myself the story of it, and it could just be that he just goes into the slot. Mooney moves a bit to the outside, or they just kind of rotate with each other. And Drake London is still a threat that could open up the middle of the field for Restrepo. So I'd like to see what happens here.
I was hoping to see his 40 time. Unfortunately, he didn't
Me too.
participate in the
Yeah.
combine. So, and the other guy that I'm going to take didn't participate either. Jack Besh going to my Philadelphia Eagles. Big slot is the new favorite thing in the NFL, and man, this guy would be great if he were drafted. I don't know if the third receiver for the Eagles is going to be a great landing spot for fantasy. Been watching them my whole life. They never seem to throw to the third receiver, but they haven't had a good one in a long time. But Jack Besh brings that physicality and football mentality that just seems to fit with my tough and physical Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to take him here at the sixth pick in the third round.
Nice. With the 307, I'm going to go with Alec Ailmanor going to the Chiefs, and Ailmanor got second round draft capital, so that's pretty nice here. And I think he would complement him and Rashee Rice really, really well. You got Xavier Worthy, who's going to be stretching the field, leaving some things open. Rice is going to be an automatic force when he gets back onto the field, which could open things up. And Pat Mahomes seems to do a lot better when he's got bigger receivers. So Alec Ailmanor to the Chiefs.
I like that. He had a good combine as well. The eighth pick in the third round. I'm going to go with Harold Fannin Jr. going to the Rams. I'm going to trust McVay that he drafts this guy and gets him involved in the offense. But had a pretty good combine. Explosive player. Man, he was certainly productive at Bowling Green, but he's going to be more of a slot kind of tight pass catching tight end, move tight end versus, anchored on the line. But, here we are in the middle of the third round.
Right.
It's where the teardrop falls, and you're just taking guys with good landing spots and who've had production in college. So I'm going to go with Harold Fannin Jr. here.
Well, you just kind of talked about it. I'm going to go with 309 with RJ Harvey, highly productive with a pretty nice landing spot going to the Carolina Panthers. Harvey had a really nice combine, and all he does is produce. And I like what he could bring to the table for the Carolina Panthers, who are trying to find an identity. And I think that identity could be on the ground, and Harvey could be a part of that. So I like that a lot in fantasy.
Yeah, especially with the Jonathan Brooks injury. I mean, he's going to probably be out again.
Unfortunately.
So with the 10th pick in the third round, I'm going to go with Savion Williams. He's pretty much raw as a route runner, man, but I like his physicality and his yards. I think he's just one of those pet chess pieces you could put anywhere on an offense. He's going to the LA Rams, and again, going to trust McVay that he would draft this guy knowing how to use him to be productive on our fantasy and dynasty team. So I'm going to take Savion Williams here, going to the Rams.
Nice. With the 311, I'm going to go with Tay Felton going to the New Orleans Saints. Felton got third round draft capital, and they need weapons. They need to, surround this offense with some playmakers, good route runners. And I think that's exactly what Felton could bring to the table. Him and Olave could really just confuse defenses as far as their manipulation of route running and separation ability. And I think that could go really nicely and provide him an opportunity, an offense that needs it. And I like that for fantasy as well.
Yeah, and the last pick, Mr. Irrelevant in this draft, I'm going to go with Terrence Ferguson. So going to my
Nice.
Philadelphia Eagles, had a great combine.
Yes, he did.
Eagles are going to be needing a young and up and coming tight end here in the next couple years. Goddard is not going to be around forever. So I'm going to take Terrence Ferguson here. I feel like I hogged all the tight ends in this draft, but that's okay. It's a tight end
That's
premium league.
okay.
That's probably why. It's a deep tight end class. So
It is.
given what looks like in 2026, you might want to get your tight ends too this year. So, there you guys got it. There is our rookie mock draft post combine. Hope you enjoyed it.